Elon Musk is unraveling over the Epstein files, and every attempt he's making to escape the fallout is only deepening the damage. This all kicked off when Congresswoman Summer Lee appeared on MSNBC and publicly confirmed that Elon Musk is facing a subpoena. The House Oversight Committee wants answers, and they're closing in. Almost immediately after that announcement, Musk erupted into a late-night barrage of posts, defensive, frantic, and revealing. And what he's now saying about the Epstein files is astonishing. According to Elon, they're meaningless, a distraction, something that doesn't actually matter. That statement is especially rich coming from the same man who previously claimed that no one fought harder than him to get those very files released. So what caused this sudden implosion? Let's rewind to the moment that set it all off. During the MSNBC segment, the host raised a specific name that appears in the Epstein documents, Elon Musk. Emails from 2013 were read on air. That's after Epstein had already been convicted as a sex offender and publicly exposed for who he was. In those emails, Elon is allegedly asking Epstein when the wildest party on his private island would be. He mentions traveling with his then-girlfriend and asks about the best time to visit. Epstein responds casually, suggesting dates and reassuring Musk that there's always room for him. There are also messages indicating that Epstein was given a tour of SpaceX. Emails discuss scheduling Epstein's visit and coordinating access. This directly contradicts Musk's earlier public statements that Epstein never set foot in his facilities. Summer Lee made something else very clear during that interview. This isn't about political parties. Oversight Democrats have said from the start that accountability applies to everyone: Democrats, Republicans, billionaires, presidents, princes. No exceptions. Her concern, however, is the glaring double standard. When certain names appear in the files, there's silence. When others do, there's a rush to deflect, dismiss, and minimize. Republicans push subpoenas for some figures, but stop short of subpoenaing Elon Musk or the sitting president, despite both appearing in the documents. Lee emphasized that if Congress is serious about transparency, they need to bring everyone in and apply the same scrutiny across the board. And to be clear, there is no formal accusation of criminal wrongdoing against Elon Musk. Being named in the Epstein files does not automatically mean someone committed a crime. That distinction matters. But here's what also matters. People are allowed to draw reputational conclusions. When powerful individuals are documented seeking favors, parties, introductions, or access from a convicted trafficker, the public has every right to question judgment, ethics, and character. After Lee's comments aired, Musk went into full damage control mode. He flooded social media with posts attempting to reshape the narrative before it could solidify. Let's break down what the newly released documents actually show, because they directly conflict with Musk's past claims. For years, Elon has said Epstein repeatedly invited him to the island and that he always declined. He portrayed himself as someone who kept his distance. But the emails tell a different story. They show Musk actively asking when he could visit, seeking invitations, not refusing them. Musk also stated publicly in 2020 that Epstein never toured SpaceX. Yet email exchanges suggest Musk personally invited Epstein to visit the facility back in 2013. Those are not minor discrepancies. Those are direct contradictions between Musk's public narrative and the documented record. So how did Elon respond once those contradictions became impossible to ignore? With deflection. First, he claimed credit for pushing the release of the Epstein files and celebrated their publication. Then he admitted he had limited correspondence with Epstein, but insisted any messages could be misinterpreted. And then came the pivot. By the end of his posting spree, Musk declared that the files themselves don't matter. That what really matters is prosecution, arrests, justice for Epstein's crimes. Without that, he said, the entire release is performative and meaningless. Read that again. The man who demanded transparency is now calling transparency a distraction. The files that expose contradictions in his own statements are suddenly irrelevant. His call for prosecutions is just as revealing. Musk says those who committed crimes with Epstein should be arrested. Yet the administration he's aligned with has already stated that socializing with Epstein wasn't a crime. So which is it? If crimes exist, why aren't they being prosecuted? If no crimes exist, why is Musk demanding arrests? The logic collapses because it isn't meant to hold. It's designed to confuse, redirect, and exhaust public attention. Look at the broader timeline. When Musk was feuding with Trump, he positioned himself as a transparency crusader. Release everything. Expose everyone. Then the relationship healed. Pentagon contracts returned. Massive AI funding followed. Suddenly Musk was back in favor. And suddenly the files became a distraction. That shift is not subtle. There's another pattern worth calling out. Media coverage constantly reminds viewers that appearing in the Epstein files doesn't imply criminal guilt. Technically true, but repeating that caveat over and over has a side effect. It dulls the significance of documented relationships with a known trafficker. What exactly were all these powerful people doing with Jeffrey Epstein? These weren't accidental encounters. Epstein ran a trafficking operation. His inner circle wasn't there by coincidence. The files matter because they map those connections, who was involved, how often, and in what context. That information is relevant even if it never leads to charges. On the prosecution front, the record is clear. The Biden administration prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell. She was convicted and is serving time. That's the only major accountability that's occurred. What has the current administration done? Improved Maxwell's conditions, blocked testimony, declared partying with Epstein non-criminal, minimized the files at every step. If Musk truly wanted justice, he'd be demanding action from the administration he supports. But he won't, because the demand itself is a smokescreen. Declare the files meaningless. Demand prosecutions that won't happen. Hope the public moves on. But the meltdown gives the game away. If there were nothing concerning in the files, there would be no frantic posting spree. If Musk's statements aligned with the record, there'd be no need to rewrite history at 2 a.m. The stories are falling apart. The messaging isn't aligned, and the subpoena threat is real. Summer Lee and the Oversight Committee are pressing forward, and Musk knows it. When subpoena power is in play, tweets don't matter. Documents do. Testimony does. Here's what to watch next. Will the subpoena be issued? Will more contradictions emerge? Will any prosecutions actually happen? And how long will Musk and Trump remain aligned once liability enters the picture? Elon Musk went from transparency advocate to crisis manager overnight. From denying invitations to being contradicted by his own emails. From demanding disclosure to dismissing it as performative. That tells you everything you need to know. The Oversight Committee wants answers. The files contradict Musk's public story, and no amount of online spin changes what's written down. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. We're tracking every development, every contradiction, and every attempt to rewrite the Epstein narrative. Like the video, share it, drop your thoughts below. Stay informed, stay alert. I'll see you in the next one.